Hello everyone, today our topic is how to automatically add Todoist tasks in Notion database. So here my objective is that whenever I create a new task in Todoist, then I want to capture the details of that task and I want to add these details as a backup in my Notion database. And for that, I have to build a connection between Todoist and Notion. So for creating this connection, I am going to use Pabbly Connect, which is an amazing software for automation and integration. In Pabbly Connect, I am going to use trigger and action. In trigger application, I'm going to use Todoist. In action application, I'm going to use Notion. So how I am going to create this integration? For that, let me take it to my computer screen. I hope all you can see my computer screen, and today we are going to see that how I can automatically add new Todoist tasks in Notion database. So Todoist lets you organize, prioritize and get things done. So Todoist has all the tools that you need to build any workflow, and project gives you a space to plan out your goals to keep tracks of all the areas of your work. Suppose I'm creating new tasks in Todoist on regular basis for my company, or my team members create new tasks. So I automatically want to add these tasks in my Notion database. So here I will keep backup of all the tasks created in Todoist in Notion. And for this, I have to build a connection between Todoist and Notion. And for that, I will open a new tab and search for pabbly.com. And this will take us to this landing page of Pabbly. Here we have two options, sign in and sign up for free. If you don't have any account with Pabbly, you can just sign up for free. And it will take only 2 minutes of your time and you will get 100 of tasks free every month. Or if you already have an account, you can just sign in and you will get to see this page. So these are all the apps that Pabbly offers, and we are going to use Pabbly Connect here. For that, I'm going to click here on Access Now button under Pabbly Connect, and this will direct us to the dashboard of Pabbly Connect. Here, this is the workflow section, and we can see all the workflows that we will create here. And this is the folder section. We can create new folder here, and we can save any workflow in any particular folder that we want. Now here, I want to create a new workflow. For that, I'm going to click here on Create Workflow button. And this window will pop up. Now I have to name my workflow. So I'm going to name it as my objective, which is to automatically add Todoist tasks in Notion database. And I'm going to select the folder where I want to save my workflow. So I'm going to open this tab and I'm going to select home here and I will click on create. And this will take us to this most important window of our workflow. Here we have two boxes, trigger and action. So these are the two main principles on which our workflow works on, and trigger says when this happens, action says do this. So trigger is going to be the first step that will get executed in our workflow and action will just follow that. So we need to set up our trigger first, and here my trigger application will be Todoist. So I'm going to select Todoist here, and now I have to give a trigger event. So I'm going to open this tab and new task will be my trigger event. So I'm going to select this. And now I will connect Todoist with Pabbly Connect. So for connecting these two accounts, I'm going to use webhook URL, which is going to work as a bridge between Todoist and Pabbly Connect. And to connect these two accounts, I need to follow all this instruction. So first I'm going to copy this webhook URL. And now what I need to do is I need to log in my Todoist account in my browser first. And now I need to create a new app in this app management console in Todoist. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this hyperlink and this will take me to this Todoist developer settings. Now here what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new app. So I'll click here on create a new app and I have to give a name to my app. So I'm going to name it as testing and I'm going to click on create app. Now I'm going to scroll down and here in this test token, I'm going to click on create test token. So it has generated this access token for me. Now I'm going to scroll down again. And here in the webhook, I'm going to add my webhook URL. So in this option of webhook callback URL, I'm going to paste the webhook URL that I have copied from Pabbly Connect. So I'm going to paste it here. And in this watch events, I'm going to select this option of item added. And I'm going to activate my webhook. And I will save my webhook configuration. So I'll click here on save webhook configuration. Now I will go back to Pabbly Connect. And here it is waiting for webhook response. Now how I am going to get this webhook response? For that I have to create a new task in Todoist. So for that I will go to Todoist and here in Todoist I'm going to use this project of Todoist integration. In this project I'm going to add a new task. So for that I will click here on add task button and in this first I have to give a name to my task. So I'm creating a task of a meeting that I want to have with all the team members of my team. So my task name will be of a meeting. So I'm going to name it as team meeting. And now I have to give a description. So for that, I'm going to click here and my description will be, this meeting is for all the team members. Now I'm going to give a due date. So I'm going to click here on this due date button and I'm going to set this meeting for the Monday. So I'm going to select my date, which is of 22nd January 2024. So I'm going to select this. And if I have to give any priority for my project, so I can select that from here. And I'm saving this in this project of Todoist integration. And if you want to select any other project where you also want to save this, so you can select any other project too. Now what I need to do is I need to click here on add task. So my task is created and it is named as team meeting. Now we'll go back to Pabbly Connect. And here we can see we have received this new response. So in this response, I got the initiator full name, which is Pabbly. So this is the name of the creator that has created the task. And also we have this user ID. If my team members are also creating a task in Todoist, so we are going to differentiate that with this user ID. And here we have this due date, which is of Jan 22nd. And the description of my task name is team meeting. And the description is this meeting is for all the team members. And in this, I also have this project ID. So I have saved my task in this particular project. So it has generated this project ID for my project, but I only got this project ID. But what I want is I want the project name too. So for that, I have to set up my actions tab. And in this, I have to select Todoist again. So I'm going to select this Todoist here and I will give my action event. So I'm going to open this tab and in this get a project will be my action event. So I'm going to select this and I'm going to connect Todoist with Pabbly Connect one more time. Now to connect Todoist in my actions tab, I have to give a token, and for that I have to first log into my Todoist account and I have to go to this hyperlink where I will find my API token. So I'm going to open this. Now I have to go to this developer option and here I have this API token. So I'm going to copy this API token. I will go back to Pabbly Connect and I'm going to paste that token here and I will click on save and here my connection is successful. Now I have to give my project ID. So I have received my project ID in the previous tab. So I'm going to map that here. So for mapping, I have to first make this map as dynamic. So I'm going to click here and here I have to clear this default response. And in this, I'm going to map the project ID that I have received in my trigger response. So I'm going to open this response and this is my project ID. So I'm going to map this. So I have mapped my project ID. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on save and send test request button. And here I have received this response. So this is the name of my project, which is named as Todoist integration. So I got all these details. Now I have the project details and the task details. Now what I need to do is I need to add these details automatically in my Notion database. For that, I will add another actions tab. So I'll click here on add actions tab. And here I have to select my action application. So here my action application will be Notion. So I'm going to select Notion here. And I have to give an action event. So I'm going to open this tab and create database item will be my action event. So I'm going to select this and I will connect Notion with Pabbly Connect. So I'll click here on connect and I have to click here on add new connection and I will connect with Notion. So here I have already logged in my Notion in the browser. So it has detected that. Now I have to select the pages that I want to use. So I'll click here on select pages and I'm going to select all these pages that I have in my Notion account. And I'm going to click here on allow access to give access to my account. And my connection here is successful. Now I have to select the database where I want to add my details. So I'm going to open this tab and in this tab, you will find all the databases that are connected with your Notion account. And for the database, let's go to Notion first. And in Notion, I'm going to use this Todoist task database. And in this, I have all these columns. So I will map these details in Pabbly Connect. So let's go back to Pabbly Connect. And here I'm going to use this Todoist task database. So I'm going to select this and here all the details are according to my database. Now I have to map all these details and I'm going to use the details that I have received in my previous tabs and I'm going to map all the details of my project and the task details. So for that I'm going to use mapping, and what mapping is a technique through which I can retrieve the data from the previous tabs and the data that is changing will get replaced with the new data in the real time. So for mapping I'm going to click here. And here first I have to map the due date. So I'm going to find this due date in this new task response. So I'm going to open this and in this I have this due date which is January 22nd. So I'm going to map this. Similarly, I will map my task name. So I'll click here. I will open the response of new task. And this is my task name, which is of team meeting. So I'm going to map this. Now I will map my project name. So I'm going to open this. So I'm going to click here and I will get my project name in this get a project response. So I'm going to open this and this is my project name, which is named as Todoist integration. So I'm going to map this. Now I will map the name of the person that has created the task. So I'll click here. I will open this response of new task and this is the initiator full name. So I'm going to map this. So this is the person that has created the task. Now I have to give a user ID. So I will find this user ID in this new task response and this is my user ID. Now I have to map a contain and in this contain, I'm going to map the description of my task. So for that, I will click here. I will open this response of Todoist and here this is the description of my task. So I'm going to map this and this is a hidden column and you will find this thing in the side peak in Notion database. So here I have mapped all the details that I want to add in my Notion database as a backup. So I'm going to click here on save and send test request button. And here I have received this new response. So this is a positive response and this means I have added these details automatically in my Notion database. Now to check this, let's go to Notion. And here we can see I have added this new row in my Notion database. So this is my user ID and this task is created by Pabbly and the task name is team meeting. And this is my due date, which is January 22. And my project name is Todoist integration. And for the description, I have to open this side peak. And here I have this description of my task, which is this meeting is for all the team members. So here I have added these details of my project and the task that I have created in Todoist automatically in the Notion database. So here, whenever I will add a new task in my Todoist or my team member will create a new task in Todoist, then automatically that details will be captured by Pabbly Connect and it will be added as a backup automatically in my Notion database. So here my connection between Todoist and Notion is working successfully. Now let's go back to Pabbly Connect. And here I have created this connection between Todoist and Notion in such a way that whenever I'm adding a new task in Todoist, then automatically those details will be captured and those details are adding automatically in my Notion database as a backup. So let's summarize what we did here. So first I have set up my trigger and my trigger application was Todoist and my trigger event was new task. Then I have set up my action and in this I have again used Todoist to get the project details. So here my action event was get a project. Then in the last I have added my action application as Notion and my action event was create database item. So this is how I have successfully created this workflow and you can also create this workflow by following all the steps that I did in my workflow. And I'm also going to put the link of my workflow in the description so you can check it out from there. And thank you for watching this video. Not just these applications, you can automate and integrate a lot more applications like this using Pabbly Connect. If you need any help or if you have any doubt, you can email us at support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can post them at forum.pabbly.com, or if you have any issue with the pricing of Pabbly, you can connect on this link. And if you like this video, please like, share and subscribe. Thank you.